Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video I am going to be giving you some latest news regarding Paul Pogba, and there's lots of other things to currently talk about. So from my own perception, I think Paul Pogba does need to leave Manchester United, as his relationship with the club is starting to deteriorate. As you all know, Paul Pogba didn't travel to London with the rest of the Manchester United squad. Solsjaker did initially confirm prior to the game against Arsenal that Paul Pogba would have been fit enough to play. So reporting now, this is stemming from Solskjaer. He said that Paul Pogba is out for is out for 3 to 4 weeks with an ankle injury. Solskjaer also said that Paul Pogba has been advised to have surgery on his foot. But for me, it's just excuse after excuse after excuse, and I do feel as though that it is time for him to move on. Paul Pogba's just initially, recovered from an ankle injury because he was out for around 3 months. He's also, had illness. Solskjaer did actually, say that, Paul Pogba will not be sold in this January transfer window. If he doesn't leave in this January transfer window, I'm very convinced that Paul Pogba will leave in the summer. But I'm very sceptical, that he will stay at Manchester United. I think at some point in the future, he will currently move on, definitely in that. And Paul Pogba's now into his fourth season as a Manchester United player since he rejoined from Juventus back in 2016. And analysing the vast majority of his performances since he rejoined, they've been very, very poor. Totally comparison to his ones at Juventus, because he did endure 4 good years in Turin. We paid £89 million for Paul Pogba, so at this present time, he is our most expensive signing. He's still got around 16 or 17 months left on his current contract, but we do have an option to extend his contract by a further year. But yeah, we need to get him out of the football club. Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, has also come out and criticised the football club. So I think he also, does need to go. I honestly believe that Paul Pogba, will end up going to Real Madrid, because obviously, last summer he was relentlessly, linked with move to Real Madrid. But I did give you the main reason why his move to Real Madrid never materialised, reflecting on the substantial amount we'd put on him, because we value Paul Pogba at around £150 million. But I still believe his preference is a move to Real Madrid. He actually revealed last summer at the beginning that he wanted to leave Manchester United, and he did say he was seeking for a new challenge in that. And I still believe he still wants him out of the football club. There was speculation about him going to Barcelona before. There were also talks about him, going back to Juventus. But Paul Pogba's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation, not only under Solskjaer. Obviously, when we had Mourinho, there was a lot of talks about him leaving, reflecting on the poor relationship he had with Jose Mourinho. But we mainly saw the best of Paul Pogba in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. But Solskjaer still believes when he's at his best, he's one of the best midfielders in the world. He's 26 years of age, he's still in his prime. He has still got a lot of development in him. But now, obviously, with the injury of Paul Pogba, and also with McTominay being out for a while, we've definitely got to address that midfield. And I think Solskjaer is looking to bring 2 midfielders in this January transfer window. With McTominay, like I said, he's out until February. Solskjaer did initially confirm at the first that McTominay was set to be out for 3 to 4 weeks, but now obviously the injury is more severe than what we first thought. He has damaged the ligament in his knee. Not too long ago, he had recovered from an ankle injury at Scott McTominay. And like I said, he has been a revelation this season. He has made an impact in that midfield, and when he has played alongside Fred, I think they have blended in very, very well together. So obviously, more injuries now are occurring, and analysed it anywhere this season, we have had a lot of injuries, as you are all aware of, so we've definitely got to address that current midfield. But us getting rid of Paul Pogba, like I said, get back to that topic of the development. We get rid of him, we'll generate a substantial amount for his departure. I think we can get over £100 million for him. And the money we do generate from his departure, we can get around, 2 or 3 players with that money. But I think overall, anyway, there's still players that need to leave Manchester United. I think we need to get rid of another 4 or 5 more players, because there's still players here that are no longer good enough to represent the football club. And I know a lot of players have left since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival anyway. You saw my match reaction that I did earlier on, for the Arsenal-Man United game. Yesterday night we lost 2-0 at the Emirates to Arsenal. Very, very disappointing result, and also a very, very bad performance from Manchester United. Like I said on my preview and that, I was very, confident going into the game that would beat Arsenal, because recently, we've been in a good run of form. We had back-to-back Premier League wins against Newcastle and Burnley, so we was looking to win our third Premier League game in a row. And if we'd have beaten Arsenal, that would have been our 4th away win in the Premier League this season. So our away form has been very, very poor this season. You've got to say Solskjaer's team selection was definitely questionable. Obviously, he did make some changes from the 2-0 win against Burnley. Obviously, Luke Shaw started at left back. A lot of Man United fans were saying, Brandon Williams should have actually started at left back, because we actually now view him as our first choice left back. Fred and Matic, of course, were playing alongside each other in that midfield, and I thought they were extremely very poor in that midfield. Some people are saying, Jesse Lingard shouldn't have started. Lingard's actually got a good goal scoring record against Arsenal, because he scored quite a few times against them last season. And I think for the vast majority of this season anyway, Solskjaer has been tactically naive in that. Maybe in some games we showed some tactical flexibility, but the vast majority of the games we have, been tactically naive. And we have now lost 6 games now in the Premier League, this season. Despite the defeat to Arsenal, we are still in that top 4 race. We remain 5 points behind Chelsea. Arsenal now are only 4 points behind us. So if we'd have beaten Arsenal, we would have been 10 points clear of them now. But we're still definitely in that top 4 race. But we failed to capitalise, because Tottenham lost to Southampton. Chelsea drew 1-1 with Brighton. But yeah, we've got to find some consistency, if we've got many hopes of getting that top 4. But I did initially say, we need to get top 4 so we can get Champions League football secured. We definitely need Champions League football. But like I said, Arsenal, fully deserved the victory. And, we should have won the game, because Arsenal have been so inconsistent this season. Like I said on my match reaction, from an Arsenal perspective, they'll be delighted, that they've got their first win under Mikel Arteta's guidance. Mikel Arteta has only managed 3 games so far. But I think Arsenal have actually, rejuvenated themselves since Mikel Arteta took over. The look, totally comparison, to how there was under Lundberg when he was there on the interim basis. Look totally comparison, to how there was under Unai Emery, because, they was so bad under Unai Emery, and I think Unai Emery enjoyed the difficult 18 months with Arsenal. I know that Arsenal didn't obviously, beat Bournemouth in their first game under Arteta. They obviously, didn't beat Chelsea in that. But I actually thought, they was really unlucky in the game against Chelsea. But like I said, the goals came from Nicolas Pepe and Socrates in the first half, and that was enough to give Arsenal all 3 points. So you can say now they are in the race for that top 4. But, I think, Arsenal played well. They were quick on the ball. They was good on and off the ball. They created chances. Like I said, Aubameyang had a good game. Lacazette had a good game. And I initially said, didn't I, when they play together and when they're in really, really good form, they are a threat. Nicolas Pepe, has rejuvenated himself, since Mikel Arteta taken over, he actually, was poor earlier on in the season. Nicolas Pepe is actually, Arsenal's record signing because Arsenal paid around £70 million for him. They got Ozil, I think he's done well since Arteta's come in. I think he does actually, operate in that number 10 role. Xhaka did well yesterday for them. He just come back from illness. I think Torreira did well. David Luiz did well at the back for them. Maybe they could have got a better centre half than David Luiz, but Arsenal they saw it as luck. He was a cheaper solution. So yeah, they all put a shift in. More or less, and Arsenal have had quite a lot of injuries. They've still got injuries now. Callum Chambers is the most player to get injured. He came off injured against Chelsea. Gabriel Martinelli's injured. They got Hector Bellerin injured. Kieran Tierney, one of their summer signings, he's out until March. Ozil just come back from injury not too long ago. So too is Klasnach. Socrates also had a concussion. Daniel Ceballos, who Arsenal of course got on loan from Real Madrid. He was recently out with injury in that. But yeah, and I think that's actually Arsenal's first win in the Premier League, since December the 9th, which was obviously, last year. They beaten West Ham by 3 goals to 1. Arsenal obviously know that more investment is needed in their squad. Obviously, analysing that team, on that team is Mikel Arteta, so obviously he's going to want to make investment in the squad. Maybe Arsenal could consider, getting rid of more players, But like I said on my match reaction again, I think Mikel Arteta and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer are totally a comparison in that. Like I said before, I think Solskjaer is a better manager than Mikel Arteta, but actually, Mikel Arteta schooled Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like I said, Solskjaer's, hasn't really got a pedigree behind him in terms of management, but, he's still got more managerial experience than Arteta. Because Arteta, hasn't managed before. He got recommended into Arsenal. Obviously, he was a coaching assistant alongside Pep Guardiola at Manchester City for around 3 years. And obviously, he may have learned some tips off Pep Guardiola. Obviously, they replicate each other in that aspect to Arteta and Solskjaer, Obviously, you've got Arteta that knows Arsenal inside out, because he endured 5 years as a player for them. And obviously, with us, with Solskjaer, he knows our club inside out because he was a long-serving player for us. He endured 11 years as a player for Manchester United. But yeah, I've got to say, very, very disappointed with the result. And, games are now coming up thick and fast for us. We've got Wolves in the FA Cup at the weekend, which is going to be another tough game. We've got Man City coming up in the Carabao Cup for Slag. You've got to say the Carabao Cup is a priority for us. So too is the Europa League. Because I think it's only the chances, we've got of getting any silverware on the board this season. Solskjaer did actually say, he was recently speaking about, the importance of us lifting trophies because we have lacked silverware in the last 6 or 7 years. We've only won 3 trophies since the Ferguson era up until now. Won the FA Cup under the Louis van Gaal era, won the Europa League and League Cup in Jose Mourinho's first season. So we have got to get some silverware on the board and that. And if we can beat Man City, then I think, we definitely can win the Carabao Cup. We definitely can win the Carabao Cup and all that. But, I think Manchester United do need to get rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I don't only think Solskjaer's not accountable for the vast majority of our bad results and performances this season, but I think, he's accountable for some of it. But I don't only think we need a change of management. I think we need to get rid of Ed Woodward. We also need to get rid of our board. We need to get rid of the Glazers. I think we also need to get rid of the coaching staff and that. So we need to see a variety of changes at the football club. You've got me, including a lot of Man United fans, demanding Solskjaer out. You've got the likes of Ed Woodward and the vast majority of our players in that, and our board that are determined to back him all the way. So their perceptions are totally comparison to mine and a lot of Manchester United fans. Solskjaer's been here for quite a while now. He's been at the football club over 1 year. as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yes, he's been here over 1 year. He's been a permanent manager for nearly 10 months now. And analysing the vast majority of that 10-month period, he has mainly endured a difficult time. Prior to the 3 months when he was the interim manager, because like I said, he did really, really well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. And I think, analysing this 10 months or so nearly he's been permanent manager, we have been mainly inconsistent. But there again, we have had some good periods in that, where we've actually, got a few wins behind us. Then obviously, it's been back to square one. And, we do seem to react well to bad defeats, because taking into account we lost to Watford not too long ago, and, obviously then we reacted, well to that 2-0 defeat to Watford. We went and beat Newcastle at home. Obviously, went and won away at Burnley. But we are just struggling to keep. We are just struggling, to keep this consistency up, and that is definitely an element of concern without a shadow of a doubt, and that, and it is an element of concern. But I thought, like I said, Solskjaer was a great player for Man United for 11 years in that, but I think as a manager, he's just totally a comparison. And I haven't seen any improvements under Solskjaer, than what I saw under Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal and David Moyes, except that 3-month period. I think one of the mistakes Man United did make was giving him the job on a full-time basis and that. But I think it's now time to get him out. Obviously, Man United are determined to back him. We're going to see who we can recommend into the football club this January. We're also going to see who we can recommend into the football club in the summer. Because, like I've said to you, the vast majority of these players are not Solskjaer's. The vast majority of these players are Jose Mourinho's. Because taking into account, Jose Mourinho recommended 11 players into the football club. Now Solskjaer is still inheriting the vast majority of them. Solskjaer did recommend 3 good players to the squad during the summer, and we spent nearly £150 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and on Harry Maguire, and they've all enjoyed fantastic starts to their Manchester United careers in that. I don't think they've been accountable for any of our bad performances or results this season. I think the 3 players that we actually recommended in, you can say have actually been our best signings. But for me, from my own perception, for us to be back being title contenders, and for us, to be back to being a competitive elite level football club, I think we need at least 5 to 6 more signings, arguably, even more. And we've got to address the deficiencies in the squad. We've got to get a couple of midfielders. That midfield, we've got to reinvest. We also need a couple of attackers, definitely. We also need a right winger, and there's possibly other areas in the squad as well that do need to be addressed. But Solskjaer is reportedly going to get unlimited funds. Me estimating on this, I think we're going to spend from maybe £250 to £300 million on recruiting new players into the football club. But yeah. And I think, what Solskjaer's mainly done, so far during his managerial tenure with Man United, he's obviously, mainly give the youngsters their opportunities, but he did actually, confirm at the start of this season that, the youngsters would get their opportunities, and that's actually, very, very good, and he's got a lot of faith in his young players. But for me, I think he does rely on the kids too much. And, Solskjaer still wants to continue recruiting young players into the club like he did do during the course of the summer and that. And as it stands at this present time, we have got a lot of young upcoming players in the squad. We've also got a lot of experienced players. I think a lot of the young players will become a succession at Manchester United. I think Green will do well. There's question marks regarding Solskjaer on that aspect. Why is he not playing Greenwood, on a regular basis? Why is he not He's not starting enough for me in the Premier League. He's only, I think, started 2 games in the Premier League, so far this season. He did come on yesterday, but I think he needs to start more games and that, because I think he's been an absolute fruition, and he's already on 18 goals for the football club this season. And Solskjaer was asked about replacing Lukaku, because we didn't replace Lukaku in the summer. But obviously, Solskjaer, I don't think it's got an element of concern regarding our attacking options. because Rashford, Martial have recently, been in good form. So too was Daniel James. They weren't good yesterday, but prior to that, they've been in really, really good form. And plus, Mason Greenwood has come on to the horizon. And Solskjaer said, obviously, he's fulfilled a big void in that. I think Brandon Williams will do well. So too will Tuan Zebe. I think James Garner will do well for us. I've actually got some element of concerns about some of the upcoming players. So I think if we could get rid of some of them, this year, that would be very, very beneficial for Man United, definitely. That would be very, very beneficial for Man United in that. But for me, yeah, definitely no further more investment is needed in the squad. And like Solskjaer was saying recently, he was saying like, we're not in that commanding position, that we should be in. He feels as though these improvements and that, and he feels that some aspects of our game have improved. We didn't show that yesterday, but in some games we have actually done that. But we're not in the commanding position that we should be in. Reflecting on the amount of money that's been invested into the football club over the years. I think we've spent nearly £1 billion on recruiting new players into the football club. Around £67 million was spent under Moyes. Over 200 odd million was spent under Van Gaal. 400 million was spent under Jose Mourinho, or just under 400 million, plus taking into account what was spent under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer last summer. Not only that, we spent a lot of money on players, we've also got a lot of players on big contracts at the football club. So, like I've said, this squad is band average. And I said before, didn't I, Solskjaer is inheriting a pretty decent team, because we have actually got quite a few good players in our team, reflect on the amount of money that's been spent. I do think, we overpay for players, I think, we should be like sensible with our recruitment and that, because like I said, it's not always about spending big on players and getting them Galactico players in. We've overpaid for players. Prime example, 80 million for Maguire. He's a very good centre-half, but he's not the best in the world. We paid 50 million for Fred, 50 million for Fred, £89 million for Paul Pogba. So we definitely are known for overpaying for players in that. But I think regardless of who our manager is, whether it's Solskjaer, whether it's whoever, it doesn't matter. I just don't think we'll ever invoke Ferguson's legacy at Manchester United. Solskjaer definitely know what, I can assure that. Even if he is given another couple of years at the club, we'll never replicate, what we did under Ferguson. And I did say, I'm hopeful that this team at this day and age can replicate, what the team did under Alex Ferguson. But take into account, when we recommended Ferguson in, he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club, when he came in from Aberdeen in 1984. But then look what he went and accomplished after that 4 years when he didn't win anything. So take that into account. But we know now, in this day and age, the boards are a lot more ruthless. Managers don't get the time, that they would like. A prime example, Pellegrini got sacked from West Ham not too long ago. You had Sanchez Flores getting sacked from Watford. You had Pochettino getting sacked from Tottenham. Emery getting sacked from Arsenal. Marco Silva getting sacked from Everton. So managers have been getting sacked left, right, and centre this season. So just take that into account. But I think if Solskjaer wasn't a club legend, I think he probably would have been sacked by now. But this is what I don't really understand, guys. We've done well against elite opposition this season. Like I do keep mentioning it to you. We're beating Chelsea at the beginning of the season 4-0. We're beating Leicester at home 1-0. We drew with Liverpool this season 1-1. We're the only team this season so far in the Premier League to take any points from Liverpool. We're beating Tottenham. We're beating Man City. You can say them 2 games arguably saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure at the football club. But what we've done against elite opposition, we haven't really replicated it against lower opposition. That is actually my element of concern in that. But at least our record against the top 6 has actually improved. But I said, at the start of this season, I'm hopeful that we can enjoy a better season this season than what we saw last season, because last season was a huge disappointment. We finished 6th last season, I think that's actually, I think that's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League area, or is it 7th, the lowest we've finished? But we won't sack Solskjaer. We will not sack. We won't sack Solskjaer. We haven't really. We don't want to really keep sacking managers. We're not really known for the sacking football club, despite the fact a lot of managers have been sacked since. Well, 3 managers have been sacked since the Ferguson era: Moyes, Louis van Gaal, and Jose Mourinho. Solskjaer did say that he expects a successful 2020 at Manchester United. I said I'm hopeful this year that we can enjoy a better year than last year, because last year, was very, very poor. Well, vast majority of last year was very, very poor, but we've obviously enjoyed a bad start to 2020 by losing our first Premier League game in 2020. But, we are on a transition period, as Solskjaer, is aware of, and he's hopeful that Manchester United, can get through this transition period and that. But he also came out and said, Man United have got like the resources and the backing of the club. But Champions League football is essential because because obviously if you're in Champions League football, you do attract players to the elite level and that, and I'm ashamed to be a Manchester United fan, but there again, I've been ashamed to be a Manchester United fan in the last, 6 or 7, 8 years. We're not going to win the league for several years. We're not even going to mount any kind of title challenge up. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That is 7 years ago now. And the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season at the football club and that. But as you all know, we've got a lot of players in our agenda. I've already give you an update on some of the transfers in that. We've missed out on Erling Haaland. He's gone to Dortmund, so now we have got an alternative to Haaland, and that is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm sceptical that we'll get him now. There's obviously Jadon Sancho still on our agenda. They've got quite a lot of midfielders on our agenda, Son Niguez, James Maddison, Christian Eriksen, and I think, they would be the right calibre players for Manchester United, definitely. But I think if Solskjaer is to be sacked by the football club, I think it's very imminent that Pochettino will be our next manager, providing that, he doesn't get another job, because he hasn't only been linked with a managerial role at Man United. There's also been speculation of him going to Munich and Real Madrid. But if Pochettino does come in, he will be our 5th permanent manager since, the Alex Ferguson era. But I think Pochettino's a much better manager than Solskjaer. He's not tactically naive. He's proven in the Premier League. He hasn't won out in terms of silverware. You can say that's an element of concern. But really, we should have got Pochettino in after the sacking of Jose Mourinho. But obviously, with Solskjaer doing well in that 3-month period, we decided to keep Solskjaer. That's why our preference was Solskjaer over Mauricio Pochettino and that. But yeah, you get a lot of Manchester United fans now demanding him in. Definitely. So yeah, I think Paul Pogba definitely needs to go. Like I said, Man United are increasingly becoming frustrated with him now. And and that's all there is to it. May doing another video soon. I'm going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news. It may be later on today, or it will be tomorrow. Like I said, if it's not every day this month, it will be a lot of days, where I give you like transfer daily shows and that. Yeah, so join me for that. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.